Today is 22nd of September 2021. Make sure those of us coming late to class, I've told you, joining class is 5 minutes before the class commences. I've muted everybody. You must not unmute yourself except I ask you to do so. And if I discover that you unmute yourself, I yank you out of the class. Today is 22nd of September 2021. And we have started since Wednesday last week. This class is meant for every Wednesdays, 12 to 1 p.m. And that is why, as we have been talking since, it's your time that I've been going. And of course, this class is going to be more or less interactive class session, centered on you because you will be made to speak up and make contributions, not listening. Because of that, if you know that your environment is very, very noisy, please, I beg you, please and please mute yourself. Those who are staying in a very quiet environment should unmute themselves so as to contribute effectively to what we are going to do. And of course, everything is recorded at the same time counting for your grading. The school management is not taking it lightly if you fail to participate and attend class promptly. So if you know that your environment is very quiet, unmute yourself so as to contribute to what you are doing. Having said that, this course is EDA821, which is Human Resources in Educational Management. And of course, at the end of our today's class, we should be able to explain the functions of human resource management and then be able to describe the activities of human resource management. So these are the two basic things we are going to look into in our today's class. And I will try to inform you that sometimes when you may see human resource management written, you may not see it in full, but sometimes you may see it with the acronym HRM. H means human, R, resources, M, management. I will begin by asking us a few questions based on our last week topic. Who can remind us what we treated last week? Use the electronic hand. As I muted everybody, use the electronic hand, raise your hand up, then I will ask you to unmute. You have the floor and speak to us while others remain muted. Thank you. Emmanuel or John Atta. That's great. I remember this Atta last week.
Yes.
That's good. Now, what was our topic last week?
Thank you, Professor. Last week, we tried to, in a way, look at the substance of the course generally, human resource management. And we started by defining what resources are. And we say that resources are those things that nature may have endowed us with to help us fulfill our demands in the society. And we also looked at human resources. These are individuals, it could be staff. In the educational sector, we talked about teachers, the place of teachers in the educational sector and how important they are if the educational system must move very, very well. And to talk about efficiency and effectiveness in any school, we also talked about the competence of these teachers when they are, gotten into their places of job, the places of work. What are the various criteria used to employ them because of the effectiveness that is needed in any organization? And we also talked about management, defined management also, the ability to, make use of what we have done, what we use in the society to control and also to manage, and then watch the effectiveness that will come out of our ability to control what nature has endowed us with. And when we talk about the human organization, you need management. And in management, you talk about discipline, you talk about effectiveness, you talk about control, and then the ability to manage human beings, to take them along. I think in brief, this is what I can quickly summarize so that others can also speak. Thank you.
That's very good of you, Reverend.
Thank you, Prof.
Well done, well done, well done, well done. That's a very good one. That's when we talk of active participation. Tomorrow, you can't see anything in the exam and it will look strange. For like Mayowa, what was our lesson last week based on? Unmute yourself and speak to the class. Unmute yourself. Good. You have the floor now. I can see you raising your hand up. You were sleeping, and that is why I call you. You were sleeping and you are laughing. You see, why we are saying it is that tomorrow it will not be on record that you were not taught. You put on your data, came to class to sleep. And that's why I have to put that question across to you. Started stretching your body, that means you have gone far from the class. And of course, those of you, if you know that you don't put on your video, it means you're absent from today's class. We are not interested to see your name, Warib, Adetunji, and Mary Olufunke. We are not interested to see your name. What we want to see is your video to make sure you are in the class and actively participating. Okay, thank you, Atta Emmanuel. You have actually, you really captured where we started last week. And This week, we are going to look at the functions of human resource management. That is where the center of our discussions today. And if I may ask, I told you that when you talk of human resources, you talk about the personnel that are involved in putting things together towards actualizing the goal of the organization. In this perspective, we are looking at school as our own organization, because everything we are talking about here is educational management. Having said that, one of the, if I may ask you, who can tell us some of the functions of human resource management in the school system or in any organization before we can narrow it down? Use your electronic hand and raise your hand up. If you don't raise your hand up, I call. Billy Kisu, Saula, speak to the class. What are the functions of human resource management? Your place, what is making that noise? Is it that you are playing music or what? What is the problem there? Why the noise or fan? Or you put on fan that is not good. So why noise? Ilikisu.
There is no noise here. There is no noise there.
There is noise.
Oh, yeah, I can't hear.
I mute you. Your environment maybe has saved you, though I know you may like it because you weren't talking from the inception. Yes, Techno Pop 4. We don't like to address us with our device name. You have to rename. Before you do that, let me go to Ibrahim Abiola. Ibrahim Abiola, simply.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
I think one of the functions of human resources management in school has to do with employment teacher. In the aspect of you have to look for a way to employ a qualified and well-trained teacher in order to impact on the students in the class.
That's very good of you.
Another function also has to do with reward. Like maybe look for a way to motivate the best students in the aspect of where they perform well in their subjects and so on and so forth, and also look for a way to appreciate the teachers that made that particular impact on them, sir.
Wow. You have tried well, Ibrahim. You have brought in rewards, appreciating those who are working hard as a way of encouraging others to do well. We also talked about employing qualified staff to make sure that the school actually actualize their aim. Also to put the school in limelight. That is your point, and it's quite germane. Well done. Another contributor. Someone is sending something from chat here. He said, Josephine Eberechi. You have to talk to us. It's not telling us your name and putting it on chat. I will tell you when you should use the chat box. I believe they engage in appointment, training, discipline, etc. My environment is noisy. Okay, it's all right. We have seen your own. That's good. Mary Olufunke, I've asked you to unmute yourself. Ibrahim, you can now raise down your electronic hand since you have made your contribution. Mary Olufunke, simply unmute yourself. Okay, you have the floor now.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Human resources management. Yes, sir. They also deal with the motivation of students.
Your network is breaking. Check where you are. Your network is breaking. So,
Let's say that, sir.
yes, better.
They deal with the motivation of teachers and students. They deal with appraisal. They also do with training.
That's good.
That's
good. I think, class, we can hear her. I think we can hear her contribution.
Yes, yes.
All right. And you agree with, did you agree with her points?
To a certain extent, I agree with her.
Okay, tell me where you disagree.
Where I
Hello?
No.
Yeah, we are listening. Well, Mary, you have to unmute yourself. Mute yourself rather. All right. Another contribution. Hafsat Abosede, I've asked you to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself now.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
When we talk about the human resources management, they deal with the in-training of staff, the teachers, and also deal with the welfare of staff. And they also see to the day in, day out of activities of the management. And they take care of their welfare in time of loan, and seminar too, in order to increase their
improve
their knowledge.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
That's all I have to say, sir.
You have tried.
Thank you.
Hafsat, boss said that you have tried so much. Now, Ade DG Adiola, what do you have to say? Unmute yourself now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Last week, I just mentioned most of the things I listed here. I listed staffing, general staffing, depending on the organizational structure of the organization, general welfare of both the students and the staff, then motivation of activities such as providing trainings, seminars, recommendation for promotional exams for staff. So those are the things.
That's good. Please, class, did we hear her very well?
Yes.
Yes. I think it was clear.
Are we on same page with her points?
Exactly.
Okay, now clap for her. Clap for her. You are in the class, even though you are in master's class. Clap. Some people will not clap because of jealousy. Clap so that in your own time, they will clap for you. If you fail to clap for those who make good point, the day you make your own, they will not clap for you. Yes, you know, before I've not said they should clap, but it's just like her luck, because Hafsat too, your point was in tandem. I think clap for Hafsat and clap for those who said something, including Father Emmanuel. All right. So that is the essence of our class being interactive in nature. The advantage of it is that when the points are almost coming out from you, you will not forget in the exam hall. And that is the essence of the facilitation. While I will recap what you have said for you to take down some selling points and join to the ones you have learned. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
You know, if I'm the one talking every time, some of you will start to sleep like that my first person. What is that her name? That I call sleeping. I've even forgotten her name. I didn't write it down. So sleeping in class. Maybe she prayed that I will forget, and I've forgotten it. So her prayer has worked. So, like we rightly said, that human resource management is a body of knowledge and a set of practices that, of course, define the nature of work and regulate the duties, the relationship within the four walls of the organization. And of course, here at school in particular, human resource management, of course, covers the basic functions or functional areas in the very organization. Here we are looking, our major concentration is on school. And of course, management is management anywhere, but the task might vary depending on where the managerial activities is being undertaken. Now, the number one functional areas of human resource management is staffing. And of course, you have even said it all, that this staffing deals with obtaining people with some appropriate skills, knowledge, abilities, and experience to fill in the job space within the organization here at school. I remember that last week, in the course of our discussion, I don't know whether it's in this class or another class, where I asked us whether it is appropriate for someone who is having HND only or BSc to head school. Is it in this class?
Yes.
That I asked that question.
Yes, sir.
I think Ata, you are the one that answered, you made a comment on it. And
no, you asked me about the seminary, whether it is appropriate.
Yes. That's it now. That's it now. That's what I'm saying. You made a comment now.
Yes, I did.
I remember. Or you think I forget easily?
No.
I'm not a dull student.
Yes, doctor.
So now you see, when you want to employ, you employ based on job specification requirement. For instance, you need a teacher who majored in physics as a subject. What you need is physics teacher. You will not go and employ somebody who read agri and then ask the person who majored in agri to go and teach physics. Will there be any positive result?
No.
Huh?
No, sir.
So
like
it is the duty of the management to actually look at the job vacancy, know the appropriate skills, knowledge required from such qualified personnel before the recruitment exercise will be taken. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now, another aspect of the functional areas we are going to concentrate here is the rewards. It's one of the basic functional areas of human resource management. When we talk of rewards here, of course, it involves the design and the administration of reward systems. The practices include job evaluation, performance appraisal, and benefits. You see, when you hear reward, before the reward will come, there are some certain activities that will first take place before the reward itself will come. First of all, there will be what is called job evaluation.
Job evaluation.
You check whether the organization or the school in particular is doing well or not. Then if it's doing well, who contributed to the wellness of the organization? And how will you collect that? Is it by mere asking? There is what we call appraisal form. Now, that will be filled, the data will be collected, and of course, from there, that will give the management the entire overview of what the information they need to act upon. Because it will be very unfair in an organization. Now we are making reference to school in particular, whereby those who attended to their task seriously and those who operated on nonchalant attitude receive same reward. If you are the one, how will you feel? I'm asking you a question.
It's like an inequality.
At the end of the year, those that work hard and those that fail to work hard, then they are giving same reward. How do you think that others will feel?
Very unfair.
Huh?
It will not only those that work harder to make them to want to do more because they are getting the same reward with people
that work less.
that work less.
As simple as ABC. You see, if those who actually put in their best are rewarded equally, there won't be any motivational drive to those who have actually put in their best. So next time they will take it as if we are not interested after all. And before you know it, it can collapse that organization. True or false?
Yes, sir.
True or false?
True.
sir.
Good. So that is why you see a lot of burden is on the head of the human resource management entirely to ensure that right approaches are used to actually run the very organization. that is on reward, and still there, you see that when one does a particular thing and is being rewarded positively, it encourages that person to do more, and of course motivate those who are lying low to come up, to know that something is there. Take for example, in your various families, maybe you have some children. How many of you here has about 7 or 10 children? Raise up your hand. 7 or 10.
In the Nigeria of today.
Is it possible for one to have 7 or 8 at this present time?
It's possible. What if I tell you now that I have 12?
Okay.
So now, all the children, it's not all of them that will give you all the cooperation you need. Some of them will only come out when it is time to eat. And after that, they will find themselves running away. And when you see the children doing like that, it's the fault of the parent. Because it shows that from the beginning, they did not actually groom them from the onset. And that's one of the job duties or requirements of management. Whenever you see that the staff operate anyhow, it means that whoever that is at the helm of affair is not doing what he or she is supposed to do. There must be caution. There must be caution. There must be praises. You can see the way the class is going. It's not every time that we frown. When we need to rebuke ourselves, we do. When we need to say a different thing, we talk. But then it will not derail us from getting where we are going. That is how a leader or the manager in every organization should behave. And it's very, very important, because the level of managerial acumen in every organization determines how far that organization will go. So that's the second point. Among all the points, they are streamlined into what we call 5 functional areas of HRM. And I've given you number 1, staffing. Number 2, rewards. Number 3 is employee development. Like I had when some of us, like NAFSAT and some people, when they said organizing workshop or training them, sending the staff for conferences, that is part of it. And that is where we are going now. So instead of using a layman language to present the point, we need that concrete point. Then you can now use your way to give the explanation. I hope you are getting what I'm saying.
Yes.
Now, under employee development, this has to involve analyzing training requirements for the staff to ensure that employees possess the knowledge and skills to perform satisfactorily on their jobs, and at the same time advance in the organization. You see that irrespective of the fact that you have been to school, yes, you have acquired your MWed, fine, no problem. But at the same time, when employed, you need to have induction program. After that, from time to time, there will be seminars, workshops. It may be indoor training or it may be outdoor training. So in that case, there is noise coming from somewhere. Who is that person? Napsat, noise is coming from your side. Noise is coming from your side.
We manage that, sir.
Don't worry, I've muted Adedeji already. I don't want to yank off any of you. I've said it in a plain language. If you know that your environment is very noisy, not to allow us get to where we are going, you mute yourself. Others who are participating actively, my monitor is carrying everybody. And of course, we are seeing those students. So under employee development is part of the 5 functional areas in which HRM is hinged upon, whereby you will talk of training and retraining the staff on the job. One, it will make the staff in question to grow. Also, it will make the staff, the organization itself to grow. But permit me to say this, in some private organizations or private-owned schools, sometimes they will not like training staff. True or false? How many of you are teaching in a private school there? You will not want to talk because you're in the school. If you talk now, they sack you. So don't talk. Yes, now, those that will talk are those who are maybe in their house having this. Yeah, they can't talk against their school while they are in the school, that they will receive query. And of course, ask them to go. So I don't wish you bad. So, but the truth remains that some of the proprietors or proprietors will think that when they finish training you, you will now use the skill and the knowledge you have gathered and leave for another place. Is it not true?
Yes, sir.
It's true.
But do you know that on the other hand, if your welfare is well taken care of in that school where you are, the person may find it difficult to look for another school. And of course, if you are very comfortable where you are not disturbed emotionally or not, that the person is likely to last there for a long period of time. Is it not true?
Yes, sir.
It's true.
But when where you are putting your best and your best is not appreciated, you will begin to think less of the training and retraining you have received and begin to look for where you will be
available. Green pasture.
Yes, and of course you will not blame the person because the state of the country demands that, and your own children must go to school. Other challenges are wet man. If you are not yet married, you must put it at the back of your mind that you will marry, and then you have children, responsibilities, both parents to take care of, and all that. So that is number 3, employee development. Then the fourth one is what we call employee maintenance. Of course, that is this one has to do with the administration and monitoring of workplace safety, health, policies, guiding the operational rules of the welfare of the staff, and to retain competent workforce and comply with statutory standards and regulations. So you see, almost we have handled this point while we talk of the development. So, but you should know that the maintenance, sustainability matters a lot. Where you see people leaving their schools, every time you see that school put signboard or advert on newspaper, teachers wanted. To the mind of the people around, we know that that school is not doing well. Is it not correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
The kind of staff they will always recruit are those who just want anything to sustain for a while and still run away. Any school you see that are treating their students well, their staff well, you hardly see vacancy in that place. True of us?
True, sir.
Except there is expansion, and then they need more hands to take care. So that's what we are saying. And some of you now that are listening to me are proprietors and proprietors. How many of you if you know you're a proprietor, they are proprietors, use your electronic hand and raise your hand up. Raise your hand up. We are not coming to beg you money, eh? Adiola, you look more or less like a proprietress.
About to be, sir. By faith, I claim it.
Not about to be. What we are saying is that what you learn, put it in practice. Some of us will, after listening to these lectures, will never treat their staff well. And they will want to work them out so that they will put in their best at all minutes. But the side of their welfare is not their concern. I must tell you, if you are in this class, change your orientation. If actually you want your workplace to grow along with you. Then another point, which is the last one, is employee relations. Very, very important. Employee relation is one of the basic, like we call it, the 5 functional areas of management. If your management does not encourage people's participation, your staff participation by contributing to ideas on things that will move your organization forward, knowing that you are running a one-man show. And the result of a one-man show in all ideas is inefficiency at the end. Most times, if you want to do so well in your administrative cadre, keep your doors open to criticisms, be it positive or negative. Accept people's opinion, then look at them, irrespective of how data the contributions will be. Out of every nonsense, there is a sense in it. You pick out the ones that will help you grow, drop the ones that will not help the organization. But if you are the type that keep adamant and deaf ears to what others say, only the one you say should be accepted. Know that you are not democratic in your leadership style. And of course, before you know it, you begin to experience all manner of malfunctioning workforce in your organization, be it in school or any place. So you should be able to make sure you involve the employees are involved in participating on issues irrespective of how small or mighty some decisions are, it helps. Not only that, if your employees are very much afraid of you, maybe you are the principal or you are the headmaster, or you are the rector, or you are the provost, or you are the vice chancellor. If I may ask you, who is the head of College of Education? The head. Huh?
The provost.
If
Provost.
you raise up your hand, you answer. So that we know. When everyone is talking, it means no one is talking. Okay, Emmanuel.
The head of the College of Education is a provost.
College of Education, the provost, that's correct. Any contradictory opinion? Huh?
No, sir.
Okay, that means we pass. Abi?
Yes.
Now, that of the university is who?
Chancellor.
Billy Kisu. Vice Chancellor. Okay, mute yourself. Mute yourself again. Okay. Someone said Chancellor. Adedeji Adeola. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Is there any other person that said Chancellor? So what I must tell you is that the head of the university who bears the burden, the role of administration in the university is the vice chancellor, not the chancellor. The chancellor is there not because there was a class I handled. Someone said because vice means assistant. Therefore, chancellor is yes. And I must tell you that the answer is no. In every university, they is the vice chancellor, is the one that is burdened with every task concerning academic and non-academic staff. It's when you are talking of sitting in the Senate or a decision taking at management level, then you begin to talk of the pro-chancellor, and then you now talk of the chancellor. Those were the governing bodies of the school. But when we talk of the one that is forestalled with duties and primary duties of taking care of staff and students of the school, to making sure that the institution run the way it's supposed to be, that is the vice chancellor. So you can see that this question I just prop up now will help some of us who would be having that mindset that is chancellor to have their mind clear on this. Let's assume now you see it in your TML and you choose chancellor. You say you have finished it and will pass very well. You don't know you have already failed the point. And somebody is laughing. But I'm not saying it will come out. I just use it as an example. Do you understand?
Yes.
As an example, I'm not saying you will see it in your TMO. I just use it as an example. Not tomorrow you say, yes, our lecturer is good. He usually even say, what if this one come out? I did not say it that way. What I say is, in case anywhere, even on the road, maybe you are going, someone say, yes, you're a student of National University. Who is the head of yours? You say the chancellor. Is it what they are teaching you there? So that is one of the things. You should be abreast with right information, because knowledge is power. So
yeah,
these are the 5 functional areas of HRM. And what is the meaning of HRM?
Human resource management.
Okay, beautiful. Now, I would like us to look at the activities of human resource management, the activities of human resource management, just briefly before we round up. Of course, the activities human resource management undertake, what they are involved in doing vary from one workplace to another. Like we say from the beginning of the class, that how the management in school will operate will not be how the management in bank or insurance company or in another organization will work. So the very task they are to be engaged in varies from one workplace to another. And of course, that might affect or might be affected by such factors such as the size and structure of the organization. You see, if an organization is so large that based on the population, somebody is trying to come into the class now, I won't admit the person. Okay, I've seen the name before. Your network to key out. I must advise you, you should have up to 2 or 3 modems working at the same time. So if one log you out because of network problem, we are still in Nigeria, you should know that, then you'll fall on the other one. Don't be so miserly to spend on data. When you buy one, you are holding it so tight. Then if that one knock you out, you're out of the class. What you hear in the class, you can't use it to compare when you are not taught. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If this course is not facilitated, maybe you don't even see me to speak with you. Now all these things we brainstorm together, we look at our areas of difficulties, and we just harness everything together. Unlike if you are asked to go and study your course material on your own, which one is better?
This is better, sir. This is far better, sir.
This is
better.
Okay. So when Mrs. Gloria, mute yourself. Mute yourself.
It's mute, sir. I've unmuted.
I say mute. Mute. It's okay. The class is quiet now. Thank you. Now, I said that it varies. If the organization is large, definitely the managerial activities will large. Of course, it has to be spread across to make sure that some people will be performing one role or the other. Take, for example, in the university, where you have large population, many things to take care of. You see, even though the vice chancellor is the head of the university, everything will not be solely done by him. True of us?
True.
True of us? Now you now begin to have vice chancellor academics, vice chancellor admin, vice chancellor of several things. And of course, all of them will work as a team, covering different strata and coming up with good decisions that will help in monitoring every unit to bring the best there. So of course, you will now begin to look at the job design, the changes in the job design, which will of course impact on selection, reward, training activities and everything. So some of these people or some of the various administrative cadres will be set up to make sure this one is looking at recruitment, this one is looking at training, this one is looking at reward, this one is looking at this. Then all of them put together will make the place to grow, other than trying to put everything to one head. And of course, it will not work fine. So the significant changes in job design will also require formal training and learning. So if organization chooses to combine tasks and instill greater employee autonomy, in fact, it will go a long way to make sure that the organization moves to greater heights. Thank you for your wonderful contributions. This is the time to take your question time and final interaction before we call it a day. But before then, your discussion forum is already open. It's open now as I'm talking to you. Tomorrow and next, you should be able to log into your course page. Then go to discussion forum 2 and put your responses on discussion. Is that okay? Make sure you do that.
Thank you,
today,
sir.
tomorrow, latest next tomorrow, you have done that. And your instructional videos are there to explain all these things, where you will see the PowerPoints prepared in slide. You are free to play it again and again. Let all the teachings done in the instructional video enter your memory to guide you through to your exams. Last semester, the students who studied for this course, they did so well. And I know that if you also put your mind here, other than coming to class absent-minded, you will still get what you wish yourself. So any question? You raise your electronic hand. Contribution, comment. Okay, any comments? So far, so good based on our class. Adedeji, you have the floor now.
Sir, thank you, sir, for the lecture, sir. More strength, sir. Sir, for all those of us that we are joining the class for the first time, sir, how do we access the discussion page you just mentioned now, sir?
Okay, what you will do is to log into your course page. I think you have registered. That's why I can get your email.
Yes, sir.
So when you log into the site, let me get the site and share it. Have you seen it? When you log on to that site, you put in your credentials. Your credential is your username and password. It will take you to, it will expose you to all the courses registered. Then you click on EDA821. It will take you there. Scroll down, you will see discussion forum 2. Simply, you click on reply. You will see the topic for discussion and the discussion forum itself. Then you click on reply, you put in your response there, and you click send. Is that okay?
All right, sir.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye, Prof.
Bye-bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.